Alright, hi guys. So this is kind of a condensed version of your completing the square notes, because I know it's something that a lot of you guys struggled with. So the purpose of completing the square is to change an equation from general form to vertex form. So what the purpose besides that is it's going to take that general form equation, turn it into a perfect square trinomial, so that way you can actually factor it. So first, just to kind of review what a perfect square trinomial is it is a function like x squared plus 4x plus 4, and I know this is different than your notes if you're looking at it, but just go along with it, okay? So when I factor this trinomial, I figure out what multiplies to get 4 and adds to get 4, and that would be x plus 2 and x plus 2, which is the same thing as x plus 2 squared. So a perfect square trinomial is something where you're going to get two binomials, these two things need to match, okay? So if those match, then it's a perfect square trinomial. So the quick process of completing this square is you're going to take the first two terms of the quadratic, so just using the general form of like ax squared plus bx plus c. We're going to take, and actually we're going to have a not be a real factor in this, so kind of ignore that. I'm actually just going to go ahead and delete that. So we're going to take the x squared and bx, and we're going to worry about that. And how I taught it to you guys in class was I did plus blank, and then we do plus c, and then minus blank. And in that blank, what's going to happen is we need to have this turn into a perfect square trinomial. So I need to fill in something that's going to make it that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the b value, and I'm going to divide it by 2, and then I'm going to square it. And whatever that value is what I'm going to put in here. So I'm just kind of writing my little formula here. So those go there. And once I've done that, I can factor this part right here. This, see where my little red thing's going around? That is now factorable, and this is just going to simplify over here. And what we've ended up doing is, because we've added this and subtracted it, it's a sneaky way of adding 0 to an equation. It's not changing anything that it's equals to, it's just allowing us to manipulate it to do what we kind of want it to do. So I've given some examples down here for you guys to do, just to practice finding that c value and not even worrying about really subtracting it on the outside, but just what would c be to factor it. So for the first one, what we're going to do is we're going to take 12, we're going to divide it in half, because 12 is our b value. And so 12 divided by 2 is 6, and I'm going to take that and I'm going to square it, and that gives me 36. So my perfect square trinomial is x squared plus 12x plus 36. And this would then factor, if I want to do that step, it would factor to what multiplies to get 36 and adds to get 12, which is x plus 6 squared. As you guys do this some more, you will notice that this value right here, this 6, will always match that right there. So later down on the road, it will let you kind of use a shortcut in finding that, but for right now, practice doing it full out. So for this next one, we take negative 24, I divide it by 2, so that is negative 12, and I square negative 12, and notice that I'm putting the negative in parentheses, and the reason for that is because you have to do negative 12 times negative 12, which gives you a positive 144, and if you don't put it in parentheses in the calculator, it will give you negative 144, and that is wrong, okay? So then it gives me my perfect square trinomial, there we go, minus 24x plus 144. When I factor that, it's x minus 12 squared. Okay. Alright, so last one, you're going to, actually, you know what, I'm going to leave that one blank. I want you guys to try that one. Yeah, next page. Okay, so now we're going to get into actually changing it to vertex form from standard form. So this is what I was talking about with the plus blank and minus blank thing earlier. So I'm going to take my x squared plus 14x. I'm going to plus blank. So that's that c value that we just practiced finding in the other examples. And then I'm going to put the 44 there. And then I'm going to minus blank. Okay. So I've just kind of just separated my equation into parts. And this part that I'm putting in parentheses right now, that's the part that we need to be able to factor. So I do what I just practiced. I do the b value, which is 14, divided by 2, which is 7. And then I do 7 squared, which is 49. So that's what's going to go on my blanks here. Pen, all right, there we go, 49, 49. So then what's in the parentheses here is going to be factored. So what multiplies to get 49 adds to get 14 is 7. And so I do x plus 7 squared because it's 7 and 7. So it's the same thing twice. I'm going to put my y equals on front there. And then what I do is I take these two numbers out here and I'm going to turn, just like simplify those. So it's going to be minus 5 out there. And those came from this. Okay. All right. Oh, it also says to identify the vertex. Sorry. So after that, just to practice the vertex, remember it's what's inside is opposite. So -7 and then -5, which is the same as usually. So that's our vertex. Alright, so last but not least, doing this one, set it up with the blanks. Okay, so I've got that. Remember that those first three things are what I'm going to factor. So I need to plug in something for c. So I take that b value, -12. Divide it in half, that's -6, and I square that, which gives me 36. So I plug that in to there. Okay, so now I'm going to factor what's in the parentheses. So what multiplies to get positive 36 and adds to get -12 is -6 and -6. So I'm going to have y equals x minus 6 squared. And then I combine 22 and -36 to get -14. So that's written now in in vertex form. And so from that I can take the vertex, which would be 6, -14. Alright, so that is completing the square. There are other videos that I post on my website that you can look at too for someone else's explanation of it, okay? Hope that helped.